Yeah, I think talking to Peave last night, there was a couple big dogs on the mound. Tyler Glasnow's of the world, Brandon Woodruff on the world. You did late night MLB Tonight.
That's right.
You were talking about establishing your heater early. Can we throw to that sound real quick?
Just coming out and trying to establish the fastball early to both sides, and I kind of noticed pretty early on that they were going to be aggressive, so I just tried to make quality pitches early and try to get quick outs, and thankfully defense played a heck of a game behind me and allowed me to get deep in the game. Like I said, early on, I just noticed that they were super aggressive, and I didn't want to get away from my game plan in terms of getting out of the zone. I just tried to make, quality early pitches, and, for the most part, I was able to do that.
All right, take a look at this board, and then you do your thing, Peave. Lowest ERA in the big league since June 28th of 2022.
Yeah, and this is almost 30 starts.
What?
This is a full season of work, and my man's leading the league in ERA, and you're talking about Justin Steele, a Cy Young frontrunner. We know who these last three are. Blake Snell's in the Cy Young question. It's time that we start talking about Brandon Woodruff as a top-of-the-line front-end starter like he is. Big Red from Mississippi was throwing the fastball with big-time conviction. We talk about establishing the fastball, DeRo. This is how I was taught to pitch, is to go out here, and if you're going to get through a lineup, I just wanted to show you some of the hits he gave up because they were not much of anything. There's a little change-up, and he's like, you're going to stay through the zone? I'm going to get you on the heater. You don't like to see that. And you just heard him there talk about establishing the heater. They got on Luzardo early, but you see this four-seamer was at the top of the zone. It was painted down at the bottom of the zone.
Quadrants.
Both quadrants. There you go. There's down and in to the lefty that gets him with about the third hit of the game. And then he throws the breaking ball, but he went back to this. His last 12 outs, there you go right there, the Luis Arraez leading the league. He's going to get his knocks. That's right, but and those were all that this bunch got into the ninth inning, but just watch the fastball command. And again, we're in a world today where we're in love with the breaking ball. We're in love with seeing how hard we can go and how fast we can go. And if that's 5 or 6 innings, so be it. And I understand that mentality. The way I was taught to pitch is if I were going to face you 3 times, DeRo, I had to get you on my fastball. One of those 3 times, I had to get you out with my fastball. Well, Brandon Woodruff last night realized these guys weren't on the fastball and continued to throw it. This is 3-1 in the 9th inning right here, and I just told you the last 12 outs were on fastballs. These are his best of the night, 97, 98 right there. That got a guy on base and got him in some trouble, but you see what he went to. Four-seamer at the top of the zone. When something's not broke, you don't fix it. That right there was an 0-2 pitch that didn't get quite to the top, but guess what? This 97 does. And Brandon Woodruff throws a complete game shutout in today. Look, this is special for as long as it is. Stop the tape real fast, and I'll do that. This is as special as it gets. You're talking about a complete game shutout?
Yeah.
When you're a starting pitcher at any level and you get to finish what you start, especially in today's game where it doesn't happen. And you heard him talking about his heart racing in the ninth. This was a special night for the kid, and the only way to do that, DeRo, is to come out and establish the fastball. It's not easy. Because you hear it. If you're aggressive, you want to cut it.
Yeah.
You want to throw some sliders and get swing and misses. But if you're fastball, if you're committed and you're locating it, it's as good as anything.
The key is the location. I think you made an interesting point on the Zoom call today talking about watching Glasnow pitch. And he's coming out. I think he's one of the nastiest in the game when he's right. But he emptied the bucket early in that start last night. And by the end, he kind of faded, right? Where Woodruff established a heater, got them aggressive swinging. They were on everything, getting quick outs. He's able to extend himself through that game.
It's the same. It's the same thing. Yeah. Look at this graphic. First off, if we got the graphic there, this is average against 4-seam and 2-seam. My man is the best in the league against his fastball. So when you know that you've got this kind of average against your fastball, you're not afraid to throw it. But you heard him talking about their aggression, and I'll compare it to the Tyler Glasnow. Minnesota was aggressive, but he was cutting it and throwing that slider early on. He struck out the side the first on 10 pitches. But again, a lot of breaking balls. If you come out and establish the fastball early and get those early outs, you're setting up second third, and if you have to go a fourth time, you're using the breaking ball, you're using the changeup, and you saw by the time that he had used those breaking balls and changeups in the middle of the game, the last 12 outs were back to number one, and he had saved his best for last. So it's certainly a different philosophy in today's age, but I got taught, DeRo, I had to get you on the heater. And once I saw that barrel out front, now I could adjust off that. Last night, the Miami Marlins never got the top hand committed and the barrel out in front on that fastball, and he kept feeding it to him. And look, back to the tape, because Brandon Woodruff did this, and he's been dominating. Let me tell you why you don't want to face Milwaukee in the season. You know who this guy is? Corbin Burns. You know what he did in his last time out, DeRo? Just no-hit the Yankees for 8 innings, right? A Cy Young Award winner. When you get past him, you face Woodruff, and who's number 3?
Fastball Freddie.
There you go. Fastball Freddie's turning into big game Freddie.
Yeah.
And pitched incredibly well. We just saw the graphic that you had Corbin Burns, pitcher of the month in July, Freddie Peralta, pitcher of the month in August, and we got Woodruff well on his way in September. Who do they give the ball to at the end? This guy and his changeup reminds me of a guy I played with in San Diego with a great changeup, Trevor Hoffman. They've got some good arms getting to these guys. It's why you don't want to see the Milwaukee Brewers come into town. I know we've got some questions around that offense. They've got 3 front-of-the-line starters ready to go in a bullpen. And by the way, Wade Miley is a dog as well, and he's getting the game in Game 4. So hats off.
I love the fact that up and in heater to right-handers, and he drives it in there consistently. Because if you miss with that pitch to a good big league hitter, you don't get it back.
Without question. That's why you got.
And he consistently is like, I'm going to get it.
I don't want pitchers to hear me saying this and come out every start and live and die with this fastball. But on nights when you know you've got it, your arm's live and your command is there, live and die with this fastball a few times through the lineup and see what it takes you. Especially when they got on Luzardo early and he had a lead. And you got some lead, let's come out and get the guys on the fastball. Brandon Woodruff, outstanding job, big boy, making Mississippi and Mississippi State.
Yeah.